Welcome to another edition of Take 5. We're in John chapter 2, verse 1. On the third day there was a wedding at Cana in Galilee, and the mother of Jesus was there. Jesus also was invited to the wedding with his disciples. When the wine ran out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "Woman, what does this have to do with me? My hour is not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Now there were 6 stone water jars there for the Jewish rites of purification, each holding 20 or 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." And they filled them up to the brim. And he said to them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the feast." So they took it. When the master of the feast tasted the water now become wine, and did not know where it came from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew, the master of the feast called the bridegroom and said to him, "Everyone serves the good wine first, and when people have drunk freely, then the poor wine. But you have kept the good wine until now." This, the first of his signs, Jesus did at Cana in Galilee, and manifested his glory, and his disciples believed in him. After this he went down to Capernaum with his mother and his brothers and his disciples, and they stayed there for a few days. Alright, well, here's the situation. You got a wedding. Weddings are exciting events. They're fun. There's a lot of, back then, weddings were even a bigger deal than they are nowadays. And even nowadays, they're a big deal. But they were all-day affairs. And usually they were prearranged marriages kind of thing. So you got the mother who's basically been invited to the wedding, and I guess, since Jesus is her son, they invited him and his buddies, and so they're all there together. Now the mother probably is somewhat friends with whoever's getting married, or friends of the family, or something like that. Like I said, they were prearranged, and they like to do matchmaking. So, she brought. Anyway, they're all there together, and they ran out of wine. Now Jesus's mother, like I said, probably friends with the guy, wants something to be done. So she goes to Jesus and said, "Look, we're out of wine." And Jesus says, what are you coming to me about that for?" Now, Jesus' mother knew who he was, but Jesus was not yet ready to reveal who he was. But because his mother asked him, Jesus agreed to do something with it. So they've got these great big water basins, and this is what the Jews used to wash their hands, to make themselves ceremonially clean, so they could do the things they needed to do. He just said they were empty apparently, fill them all up with water. So they filled them up with water, and they knew it was just regular water. He says, "Now take some of this to the master of the feast," probably the father of the bride, but whoever's putting this thing on. So they took it to him, and he said, "Man, this is good stuff. You guys saved the best stuff for last." And that's, there's all kinds of lessons to learn here, but what I really want to focus on is that saving the best for last. You can't really tell if you've gotten God's best yet till later. And I just got to be honest, in my life, I was pretty hopeless. Not completely hopeless, because I stayed close to God, but I was ready to give it up. I was ready for God just to take me on to heaven. But here lately, some things have changed, and it looks like perhaps God's best for me I haven't quite seen yet. Perhaps the new wine I'm about to taste is even sweeter than whatever wine I've ever tasted before. That was the case here. They'd been drinking all day, and the master of the ceremony said, "Look, this is what people usually do. They usually get the best first, because you want people to be impressed. Then after they drunk a while, you bring in the Mogan David, the lower quality stuff." He said, "But you've saved the best for last." And so, don't necessarily think that your best days are behind you. It's very possible that whatever the wine is, which represents whatever God wants to do for you, whatever he wants to give you, very possibly is way better than anything he's ever given you before. Alright, I thought that would encourage you. The other thing, and we're running just a little long, just have fun. I mean, they went to a wedding. There's nothing wrong with having fun. Some of us are too serious all the time. Enjoy life. Jesus said he came that we might have life and have it to the full. All right? Enjoy the life God's given you. Come back tomorrow for the next edition of Take 5.